sir. Yes,
Hello
I can hear
everybody.
you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good evening.
Good evening everybody. I hope all of you are in complete health and everything is going well for you. Uh, Unfortunately, a few of the students have come to class yet, and a lot of students are absent yet. So we cannot wait no more, and we have to start our class. At first, let me tell you, unfortunately, I received only one email from you for your assignment, and it's not a good news for me. I expected at least 60 or 70% of the students send their assignment to me. But unfortunately, I received only one assignment. As you remember, I told you at first of class, earlier in the first class, your assignment has composed of about 30% of your final score. So you should be serious about the assignment and don't neglect to do that, because you will lose your part of your final score. So I want to give you more time, but only by Friday. This is the last deadline. Okay, please do it. Only exercise 2. When you open the Word file, you will face 3 exercises, but only exercise number 2 is my purpose for your assignment. So do it and send to me by Friday only. If anybody don't do this, he or she will lose the score of his assignment. And unfortunately, I can't give you more time. I sent email. I sent email last night for all of you. I sent an email last night, yesterday, and I sent again all of the chapters, assignment direction, and the website link for downloading book. Please check your email, and if you don't receive email, please reply to me. Please send to me email and tell I haven't received email. So I will send you again. Okay, please do it. And if you remember, I told you please write down my personal email, sabirmirza@gmail.com. I write it again for you. If you see the chat frame, I write again my personal email, sabirmirza@gmail.com. Please send email to me. The academy has an email for me in its domain. eLearnWare. Okay, but usually I don't work with that email because it's a little hard for me to. And many times I forget that I have such an email. So it's easy for me that check my personal email every day because this is my personal email. So I want to ask you, please send an email to this email for me. If I don't, because I checked very late the email that Academy has made for me, has created for me by eLearnWare. Okay. Okay. Please let me begin the new chapter. Okay. Mr. Nurdai, please send to me email now. Please send to me email now because I should have your email. Okay. As soon as I receive your email, I reply to you and send all of the item and material for you. All of the chapters, all of the PowerPoint, assignment direction, syllabus, and a link for downloading free book. Okay, thank you. If somebody else has the same situation like Mr. Nurdai, please send to me email. As I told you, I sent email yesterday and again I sent all of the chapters, syllabus, assignment, and link for downloading free book to all of you. Okay, please let me begin the class. The chapter that I'm going to teach you today is location strategies. Okay, thank you so much. I will check after class and reply to you. One of the best way that you can study if you don't understand when you study book. If you study PowerPoint and find out that you don't understand the content and chapter, it's better that you search in internet. Because the reference, a good reference for operation management is not much in market. Only two references very good. One of them is the is the operation management by Hayder and Render, and another one is by Russell that I sent to you. The link that you were to download it free. The link that I sent to you was about the operation management by Russell. Also, it's one of the best books in the market. It's exactly the same as the Hayder and Render reference. No difference between them. But if you think when you study the PowerPoint and the book and don't understand very well the content and the chapters, it's better that you study more in internet. Internet is one of the best reference for you that you can refer to it and search more and more and download better content and about the chapter that you didn't realize very well. Okay, it's because as I told you, the Good reference for operation manager is not much. Very good. Only 2 books are good references for you to study them. One of them is the Heider and Render that I'm giving you. It's the PowerPoint, and another reference is the book that I sent email to you. Send to you a link that download it via that link. Okay, please let me begin class. The new chapter that I'm going to teach you today is about the location strategies. It's very important for some activities and some professions such as distribution. If you are working in distribution center for a company that your task is distributing products to customer, you should study this chapter very well. And this chapter is very useful and effective for those who are working in distribution centers, and also I wrote the full name of book. The name of the book for all of the books is Operation Management. Operations Management. And the author is or one of the book is Heider and Render, and another book author is Russell. Okay, so this chapter gives you effective strategies that you can use in order to find the best location to establish your new factory or the second book by Heider and Render. If you see the slide, please look at this slide. The title: Operation Management Location Strategy PowerPoint Presentation to Accompany Heider and Render. Can you see in the slide? Please look at the screen. Please look at your screen. Okay, Heider and Render. But unfortunately, you cannot find this book in the internet. If it was, I would send you, but unfortunately, it's not. We found another book by Russell, and so we had to send that book for you. You have to purchase this book. Okay, please let me continue. So, as I told you, if you are working in distribution center or your company is going to move or to another place in the world to develop their activity in new location or new country, so it's better that you study this chapter because it can be very useful and effective for you. This chapter is about the location strategy, a strategy that you should apply to find the best location for new facility. for new factory, for new distribution center. It's very important that you find the best location, the strategic location. If you don't do this, if you don't consider this, your company will be incurred with high cost. So these strategies can help you to find the locations that to access the best resources and sources, and also decrease your cost as well. So let's start by one of the companies that are very successful in finding the best location for their activities, for their facilities. The Federal Express. The Federal Express, as you know, is one of the famous export company that transfer your luggage, your bags, your everything that you want to transfer to other place very quickly and for a good price. One of the cases that Federal Express is very successful is in finding the best locations in the world. Because as you know, one of the factors that is very important for postal and air post company is the delivering your luggage, your product and everything like this to target place. And it's very important that they deliver quickly and without any delay. So, the central hub concept enables service to more locations with fewer aircraft. So, finding the best location can help to this Federal Express that use the fewer aircraft. It means that it can decrease their cost. They can decrease their cost. So, on the other hand, it enables matching of aircraft flights with package loads. And the third one, it can reduce handling and delay in transit because there is total control of packages from pickup to delivery. So one of the companies that are very successful in finding locations that can help them to decrease the cost and increase their performance is Federal Express or FedEx. That I think that most of you are familiarized with this company. Okay, location strategy. One of the most important decisions a firm makes. Increasingly global in nature, significant impact on fixed and variable costs. Decision made relatively infrequently. The objective is to maximize the benefit of locations to the firm. The last item is very important. Is the definition of the location strategy. The objective is to maximize the benefit of location to the firm. For example, imagine your country is going to establish a new hospital in another country. So, in order to finding the best location for hospital is that they should consider some factors, some items that are related to, that are very important for establishing a new hospital. For example, you should access to centers that you want to provide equipment, and also it should be located on the somewhere that all of the doctors and nurses access to it very easily. It shouldn't be very far from the city and something like this, for example. So it was in one of the examples. You should consider your industry and your company, and you should see which factors are very important that you should consider when you want to find a location. Location and cost. As I told you, one of the most things that finding a good location can affect on company is about cost. Location decisions based on low cost require careful consideration. Once in place, location-related costs are fixed in place and difficult to reduce. Determining optimal facility location is a good investment. So, if you want to establish a new factory in a new place, and you want to produce a good or a product that needs to water. For example, you are going to produce a good. Water is one of its important material. So, one of the best place that you should, one of the most important things that you should consider to find the best location is near river. So, when you want to transfer to other place, you have to find the place that are near to water or near to river, for example, or near to sea or ocean. So you cannot go and establish your factory in center of a desert or center of the Sahara, because accessing to water is very, very difficult for you. Okay. It means that you haven't found a best place for your new factory. So this is the reason that you should consider the best location. We will discuss about that. Okay, we will discuss about the important items that you should consider before finding a location. Cost is not always the most important aspect of the strategic decision in location and in the 4 key attributes when a strategy is based on innovation. When you consider innovations before finding a good location for your new factory, you should consider 5 items. High quality and specialized inputs, an environment that encourages investment and local rivalry, a sophisticated local market, local presence of related and supporting industry. So if you want to consider innovation, for example, you want to find a new location that is very effective for your innovation. So you should consider these four factors: high quality and specialized inputs. For example, if you go to a country that you don't access to high quality inputs, it's a wrong decision for finding location. And another one is an environment that encourages investment and local rivalry. So you should find it. So the environment that encourage your innovation and invest on your innovation is very important. If you go to, for example, country or locations that don't give value to your innovation, so it's wrong decision that you choose that place. As Dr. Hakir told in chat, the easy access to raw materials, resources, and connection to market routes are important in selecting location. Very good. And as Dr. Hakir told, labor is another factor, yes. Because labor can decrease the cost for company. If you remember, I told you in chapter of globalization, global strategy, I told you one of the important factors that many companies in Europe and the United States have decided to transfer their facility to Southeast of Asia, such as Malaysia, Thailand, China, and something like this is labor. Because the cost of labor is very, very low in this country. Very good. The labor is another factor. And a sophisticated local market is the local market that are very expert, that are very high skilled, that have high skilled labor, that are very, very expert in the producing product. Because it gives to you a motivation to sell your innovation to that market. We are talking about the innovation and location. When you are an innovative person and you have innovated a new idea, a new product, when you go to a sophisticated local market, you can compete better in this market. The sophisticated local market are those of markets that have faced a new innovation. For example, a USA is sophisticated local market inside the USA, because the many companies are investing on research and development and frequently are offering new products and new innovation to market. So the local market in United States are very sophisticated. When you want to go to sophisticated local market, you should present a your high level innovation that compete in this market. So if you know that your innovation is lower level in target market, so it's better you don't go there. if you think your innovation is not qualified for competing in this market. Okay, so the sophisticated local market means that the local markets that are very expert in new innovation, such as United States market. Local presence of related and supporting industry is another factor that is important to finding the best location for your distribution center or for new factory. Location decisions. Before deciding about new location, you should consider these items. For example, you should make decision about being long-term or short-term into target market or in new location. If you transfer for long-term, your strategy is different in the time that you want to go there for short-term. Decisions made infrequently. Decision greatly affects both fixed and variable costs. Once committed to a location, many resource and cost issues are difficult to change. If you change your decision frequently, you must pay attention and you must be careful about the location that you want to go there. If you want to consider the cost, fixed cost and variable cost, your decision should be made very carefully, because as soon as your decision committed to location, as soon as you select your location and transfer them, it's very difficult for you to change the cost and resources, because before transferring to that new location, you must have considered all of the costs. When you didn't do this, and transferred without any consideration and without consideration tax and with them, it will make trouble for you. So before transferring, consider any resources and cost and everything like this, and then transfer to new location. Security is very important. Yes, exactly. Security is very important. For example, you cannot go to Syria now. As you know, Syria is unstable now, and they are involving the internal war, and it's very, very unsafe. So security is very important. Yes. All of the things that you think about the location can help you to make the better decision. For example, the labor cost, the security, and everything like this, the political issue, the economical condition. Because the many things that we learned in chapter 2 about global strategies that can help you to apply them in this chapter, location decision. The climate of site can be important for some of industry. You know, for example, if you want to make decision, and if you want to establish new factories that are related to agriculture, such as rice, The climate of site can be important for you. Okay? Climate of site can be important for agriculture industry. For example, if you want to invest on rice, you should go to north of Iran. You cannot go to center of Iran. Center of Iran is desert. If you want to invest in new factory that are related to rice, you should go to north of Iran and investment in that area. Okay. If you are thinking about new country as your new location, you should consider 6 items as critical success factors that can help you to select the best country for your new location of facility, factory, distribution center, and like this. The political risk, the government rules, attitudes, and incentives. All of them should be considered by you. Cultural and economic issues, location of markets, labor talent, attitudes, productivity, cost, availability of supplies, communications, energy, exchange rate, and currency risk. Please have a look at these factors. Availability of raw materials are synonym of availability of supplies. They are the same. Item number 5. Please look at item number 5, availability of supplies. It means availability of raw material. Communication, energy, exchange rate, and currency risk. Yes, very good, Mr. Ahmad Zaid. Very good, yes. And I was going to tell you this software at the end of class, GIS. Please look at these 6 items and try to memorize them. Yes, cultural and economic issues. For example, as you remember, I told you in globalization, cultural issues is very important. For example, Afghanistan and Iran are Islamic countries, for example, and especially Iran is very strict, very strict. If a company is producing the beer or alcoholic drinking, they cannot move their facility to Iran. At first, they should know Iran and they should know the culture of Iran, then make decision about transferring their factory to new market, to this market. Okay. These 6 factors were the critical success factors when you want to consider a new country for as your new location. But if you consider new region, for example, in your country, for example, you are working in Kabul, but you are going to transfer the factory to Herat or a new location in north of Afghanistan, for example, in a region in your country. Okay, you should consider these 8 items. Corporate desires, attractiveness of region, labor availability, cost, attitude toward union, that is the same as the country, cost and availability of utility, such as gas, electrical, communication, and something like this, environmental regulations, government incentives and fiscal policies, proximity to raw material and customers, land and construction cost. Yes, corporate desires means that the things that are desired for your corporation, for your company. For example, some things are very important from your company point of view. You know, for example, the jungle, the forest, the river, and something like this. When you go to a new location, you should consider what things are your desired for your company desire. If you find the desiration in new region, you can transfer them to them. And government incentives and fiscal policies is related to monetary policy of the government. For example, the central bank and government policy about the supplying the money and giving loan and something like this to you. But this item is very important to countries that have federal policy. You know, for example, United States. United States has 54 states, and each state has its own government, and each state has its own regulation and rules. In this, in something like this, in this item is very important. But in Iran and Afghanistan, not important, because all of the country are governed by one central government, and the rules are the same around the country. I think a corporate organization has some values that desire to do good to environment or gender support and so on that can take it serious when moved to a region. Yes, as Mr. Navid has told, I think a corporate organization has some values that desire to do good to environment or gender support and so on that can take it serious when moved to a region. Yes. Example for corporate desire. Corporate desire means that, for example, you want to move in new region, that you see some desires, that you see your desires inside that new region. For example, your desire is that cooperating the people with your company, cooperating of the other companies with you in new region. They are not restricted about, for example, coming a new factory to that region. Some of the local companies, some of the local people are very strict about the transferring a new company to their region that they are living there. They cannot accept a new factory, a new people or foreigner, for example, in them. So the company cannot see their desiration in that new target, so they cancel the decision to move the new region. So when the company see its desire in cooperating in cooperation with local people and local company, and they cannot find this desire in new target because of the local company, because local market or local company are very strict about accepting a new factory inside them. So they cancel their decision to move a new region. It can be one of the examples. Okay, these items were should be considered when you are going to move your facility and your factory to new region inside your country, for example. Okay, as one of your friends told, one of the most important factors that can affect in location decisions is labor productivity. Labor productivity can be calculated by formula below. Wage rates are not the only cost. The lower production may increase total cost. These two items should be considered together at the same time. So the labor cost per day divided by production, that means units per day. The units are being produced by company per day, gives you the cost per unit. When you calculate the cost per unit, you can make better decisions about the moving to new market. For example, the Connecticut and George are two places in Mexico and United States. Okay, a company is going to transfer their facility and a new factory to one of them. So the company has to calculate the labor productivity at first and then make better decision. The labor cost per day in Connecticut is $70 per day, and company has found that in this region they can produce 60 units per day. So $70, that is labor cost per day, divided by 60 units, produce $1.17 per unit. This is the cost that company is incurred by transferring the facility to Connecticut. That is name of a place in Mexico. And Juarez is another place that the labor cost per day is only 25. But the number of units that company can produce per day is only 20 units in this place if it moves or transfer their facility to this place. If you calculate this productivity, the 25 US dollar divided by 20 units gives you 1.25 per unit. Which one has produced the higher cost, the Connecticut or Juarez? If you see the labor cost per day in the Connecticut is much more than the Juarez. It's 70%, US dollar per day, but it's 25. But the company should consider its ability for producing the goods. The material cost has been considered earlier. Okay, for example, imagine the company has considered everything and finally has found that two regions are the best for them. Connecticut and Juarez are the best, but between two these regions, it wants to find the best one. So it has to consider the labor productivity only. So this example wants to give you only about the labor productivity. Everything has been considered by company, and the labor productivity is being considered by them. So if you see in Connecticut, the labor productivity is better than URS. While the cost of the labor cost per day in URS is very cheaper than Connecticut, but company decides to go to Connecticut because the labor productivity is only 1.17 per unit cost for them, but in URS is 1.25 per unit. The both of them, yes, the both of them is very important, but the company should calculate the everything, you know. But we are going to but we are considering over only the labor productivity here, because it has a main formula for location decision. Exchange rates and currency risk can have a significant impact on cost structure. Rates change over time. Imagine United States wants to come to Afghanistan and invest on one industry in your country. They should consider the exchange rate in your country. For example, $1 is 10 Afghan today. But if it changed over time, and for example it doubled, $1 becomes 20 US Afghani. For example, because I don't know the real change, I don't know in Afghanistan. The real change is 50-20. Oh, $1 is 50-30 Afghan. Okay, okay. If inflation rate in your country increase and the value of the United States in against to your currency decrease, it can be very bad for United States. United States should keep its value in against your its US dollar value against your currency in high level, not low level. If it can do it, if it succeeds to do this, it's very good for United States to come your country and invest them. And cost. As you know, the cost can be divided into two categories: tangible cost and intangible cost. Tangible cost can easily measure costs such as the utilities, labor, material, and tasks. But intangible costs cannot be measured very easily to quantify and include education. For example, education, public transportation, community, quality of life are intangible costs. The quality of education, the quality of life, the quality of the public transportation, the quality of your community, they are the intangible costs, what they should be considered by company when it wants to move to transfer. If each of them is main factor for them. Location decisions based on the cost alone can create difficult ethical situations. So so they should not be made only based on cost. Another factors should be considered. As I told you, the cost is not only the most important factor. Political risk, values, and culture, as I told you, are very important. For example, the situation of Syria are very, very bad now. The political risk is very high. The cultures in Middle East and in Southeast of Asia, in the United States, in Europe are completely different together. If inflation rate go up, the government has to increase the wage of labor. And when the wage of labor and salary goes up, the company has to pay more to labor. And so the cost for company will increase. For example, imagine inflation rate has increased in your country. The price of meat, price of chicken meat, the cow meat, and oil, rice, and something like this has increased very much. So the government has to increase the wage and salary of the labor and personnel and employee. And so the companies have to pay more labor. So it cost of the company will increase. Worker attitude towards turnover, unions, absenteeism. Globally, cultures have different attitudes towards punctuality, legal and ethical issues. Yes, as you know, the cultures in some fields, in some cases, such as attitudes towards punctuality, legal and ethical issues, are different in each point of world, in each area in the world. So they should be considered by company before transferring. As you remember, I showed you these. Dear student, please turn up your microphone because it makes noise. Okay. Please turn up your microphone, please. As I told you, as you remember, I told you one of the most important factors that companies should consider is their ranking corruption. Finland is the best country in the world because the corruption is the lowest rate. And Russia is one of the worst countries in the world because the corruption rate is very high. So this is another important factor that should be considered by company. Okay. But imagine you want to go to a country or a region and you want to find the best location. Such as decision-making tools that we discussed together, there are some methods that can help you the data is for 2006. It's a little old, but you can find in the internet for 2011. Center of gravity method. Center of gravity method is one of the methods that can help you to find the best location for your, for example, distribution center. You want to establish a distribution center to distribute your products among customers. So You are looking for a good approach to find the best location. So this method, center of gravity, can help you to find the best location for your company. This method considers some items: location of market, volume of goods shipped to those markets, and shipping cost or distance. These items are considered by this method. So it has one formula, very nice formula that can help you to find the best location. Before that, I should mention some points that should be considered by applying this formula, using this formula. Yes, shipping cost means transporting cost. Ship and transport are synonyms. Place existing location on a coordinate grid. Grid origin and scale is arbitrary. So, place existing locations on a coordinate grid. For example, you are considering 3 locations or 4 locations, and you want to find the best location among these 4 locations that you are considering them. Place all of these locations on a piece of paper. Okay. At first, it's better that you draw a coordinate system with a vertical axis and horizontal axis. You can place a origin and a scale arbitrary. Arbitrary means as you wish. Arbitrary means as you wish. You can place an origin and a scale for your coordinate system. Maintain relative distance. Calculate x and y coordinates for center of gravity. After that, I'll give you an example. Okay, don't worry about that. We will solve an example together for your better understanding. Assume cost is directly proportional to distance and volume shift. Consider the last one, assume. Assume is imagine. Cost is directly proportional to distance and volume shift. It means that automatically cost has been considered in this formula, and no need to change it. Okay. We want to use this formula to find a best location among, for example, 3 or 5 locations. For calculating x coordinates and y coordinates, x and y are the points that your location is the best location. If you find the x and y coordinates in the map, you can move your facility to that point. So x coordinate means the x coordinate is the x of the point that is the best location for your facility, and y is the y of the coordination for your facility. Sigma d I and its x multiply q and its I divided by sigma q and I, and y coordinate is sigma d I and its y multiply q and its I divided by sigma q and its I. Dix means the x coordinate of the location I. Diy is y coordinate of location I. Q and I is quantity of goods moved to or from location I. The quantity of goods moved to or from location I. Moved to location I or from location I. The both of them can be considered. It depends on your activity, your business. Yes. Please let me do an example. Please write down this formula in piece of paper because I want to go to next slide. This is write down this formula in on piece of paper. Because we will need it in the next slide. Okay, you have done it. I can go to the next slide. Okay. You should draw this coordinate system. The vertical is north and south, and the horizontal shows the east or west. For example, an arbitrary origin. Arbitrary origin is you can place an origin on every point on map or every point on the piece of paper that you like. It's up to you. It's as you wish. This is arbitrary origin. You can place it. You can select it on your own opinion or idea. Imagine one of company is looking for a best location among 4 states in United States: Chicago, New York, Pittsburgh, or Atlanta. And they want to establish a distribution center to distribute products to each of these locations. Imagine a company in United States wants to establish a distributing center to feed their products to all of these 4 states. But it's looking for a best location among these places to deliver the product to all of these 4 locations, to deliver the product and feed them very quickly and lower cost. So I tell you again, a company in United States is going to establish a distribution center among these 4 states to distribute its product very easily and with lowest cost in the lowest time among these 4 states or this 4 cities in United States. Which point is the best point? After, you should draw a coordinate system. The vertical axis is north and south or south, and horizontal axis is show or display east or west with an arbitrary origin. When you draw these, you can find the coordinate point of each of these places. For example, Atlanta in your map, Atlanta in your coordinate system that you have drawn has been placed in 60 kilometers to east and 40 kilometers to north, for example. It is the X and Y coordinate of the Atlanta. The X and Y coordinate of the Pittsburgh is 19 and 110 kilometers. New York in your map, in your own map that you have drawn, has been placed on in 130 kilometers and 130 kilometers from your origin, your arbitrary origin. And in Chicago is 13 and 13 is X and 120 is Y, is vertical. The first number is the horizontal axis and the second number is the vertical axis. that shows the location of each of these places in your coordinate system. Okay, then you find these. By use of this formula, you should calculate the best location among these four. Okay, for example, the company is going to ship 2,000 unit containers to Chicago per month, and it wants to ship or deliver 1,000 units to Pittsburgh per month. To New York, it's going to deliver or ship the 1,000 units or containers, and Atlanta 2,000 units. Okay, the company has decided to ship each of these units or containers to each of these locations every day. So, which place is the best place for distribution center for this company can be calculated by this formula. The x coordinate of the distribution center can be calculated by this formula. Okay, Chicago. The x coordinate for Chicago is 30 kilometers. Okay, as you see, the Chicago is 30 and 120. Okay, the x coordinate in Chicago is 30. X coordinate in New York is 130. X or horizontal. X means horizontal axis. Horizontal axis or x in Pittsburgh is 90. And in Atlanta, the x or horizontal axis shows the 60 kilometers from the origin, arbitrary origin. Okay. This number has been written again in parentheses in front of each place. For example, in Chicago, 30 and 120. Pittsburgh, it's 19 and 110. New York is 130 and 130. And Atlanta was 60. The first number, as I told you, is the x or horizontal axis. For calculating x coordinate for best location, we should multiply x of each place in the unit of the container that wants to be shipped to that place. For example, in Chicago, the 30 is the x. Multiply 2,000 because each month is going to be 2,000 containers shipped to Chicago. Plus 90. Pittsburgh x coordinate for Pittsburgh is 90. 90 multiplied 1,000 because 1,000 containers is going to be shipped from this distribution center to Pittsburgh. Plus 130 multiply 1,000 plus 60 multiply 2,000 divided by all containers 2,000 plus 1,000 plus 1,000 plus 2,000. If you calculate this, the x coordinate is 66.7 kilometers from origin arbitrary. For calculating y coordinate for this distribution center, you should multiply the second number of each place or y coordinate of each place, multiply the number of the units or containers that is going to be shipped. For example, in Chicago, the y coordinate is 120 kilometers. Multiply 2,000 plus 110. Multiply 1,000 that is related to Pittsburgh. In New York, the y coordinate is 130. Multiply 1,000 because 1,000 container is going to be shipped to New York. And Atlanta, y coordinate is 40. Multiply 2,000 divided by all of the containers, the sum of the containers that are going to be shipped to this. Okay, if you calculate this, the y coordinate for the best location of distribution is 30.3. 93.3, and if you see on the map, this one, the center of gravity. The center of gravity is the best location for your distribution center that you want to send this container or unit to for location. You have found the coordinate of this center, 66.7 and 93.3. Very interesting. So you should locate your distribution center in this place exactly. This coordinate has been calculated from arbitrary origin, 0 and 0. X0 and Y0 is called arbitrary origin that you can place in every place that you like. Okay. Let's have a look. Okay. Okay, you're welcome. If I want to continue this chapter, I think it will make you tired. It will make you tired, and I'm scared I'm scared that if I continue, you will be confused about all of the chapter. But if you let me, I want to finish it now because the time is 7:30 now. Okay, okay, 7:30 now. If you agree, we can finish the lesson now and we can continue the next week. The chapter has not finished yet. Okay, because I want to give you a lead, yes, I can give you the time to study it very carefully, and we can continue by better energy and the next week. And please, the next week, please let me say you my program next week. Next week we will continue this chapter, and then we will discuss about the case study. So you have one more week to study case study. You have one more week, and I give you a deadline for. So the next week we continue. We will finish this chapter. We will close this chapter together, and then at the end of the class we will discuss about the case study. Okay. Okay. How was the chapter today? Okay, thank you so much. And we will discuss next week about the GIS. Okay. Um, we can do one thing. Okay, please let me. Uh, all of you study about this GIS software. GIS software. Please let me write for you in chat. GIS. GIS software. A study about this. What is this software and present in class in next week. Yes, geographical information system. Yes, very good. So all of you study about the GIS, and the next week, everybody is interested can present for all of the students. I consider this and increase his or her score in final score. It has score. Sorry, it has extra mark for anybody that study about the GIS and make a speech about that for all of the students next week. The 5 minutes, I give the 5 minutes to him or to her, okay, to explain it GIS for all of the students. It has the extra score in final exam. Okay, good. Okay. I hope this chapter has been useful for all of you. And if you have no question, please let me finish the class now, and you can go and rest. I know most of you are tired and you just come back from work. So this is the reason that I don't like to continue, because I'm scared to make you tired and confused about the rest of the chapter. So have a nice time with your family and have a nice night. Good luck everybody, and good night. Okay. Goodbye everybody and good night.